Most of the time, it's not the strategy, it's you. All these strategies that you see people using, they work, but they just might not work with you and your personality. Try to find out what works with your personality and figure out what trading style works for you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another TFT interview. Today, I have the pleasure to host Danielle, who comes from North Carolina. She has been trading for only 6 months and already receiving payouts. I can't wait to hear her story. Welcome, Danielle.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
It's good. How is it going with you?
Good. Glad to be here.
My pleasure. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into trading?
Hey, well, I'm Danielle from North Carolina originally. I actually found out about Forex back in 2020 during COVID. I was going through a rough patch in my life. I actually was homeless for a little bit and I needed to make money quickly. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to give Forex like studying and knowledge. So I took a break from it and I came back August 30th, 2022, bought a course. I said, you know what? Like, I'm going to get it. I'm going to study hard. And I got funded in 6 months.
Wow. Can you tell us what is the secret for this mindset you have to manage to get here in just 6 months?
So honestly, within the 6 months, it wasn't all rainbows and sunshines. I did fail a couple challenges. I did blow a couple accounts. But at some point, you get kind of tired of losing and you realize what your loss is or why you're losing and where you're struggling at. And I had to figure that out. Once I figured that out, good to go.
Wow, you did it really quickly. For most of us, at least for me, it took much longer time to figure out lots of things. Can you tell us a little bit about the learning curve? Did you have mentors? Did you learn everything by yourself? How did you find the strategy that you're currently using? How long time did it take you to find the strategy? Like, tell us a little bit about the learning process.
Okay, so when I first started, I bought a course in 2020. I studied it a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? I know how to do this. I'm gonna just get out there. Blue accounts, left and right. And I originally started being a scalper, and I quickly realized that did not work for me. So I liked the money and how it came quickly, but it just gave me anxiety with having to have smaller stop losses and smaller gains. So now I'm more of a day trader or a swing trader, but I love GJ, EJ, and gold. So I do day trade and intraday trade those, and I use different methods for depending on what type of trade I'm entering.
Interesting. So you have different strategies for the different instruments.
Yes.
Would you like to share your screen and show us how you analyze the charts and maybe an example of a trade?
This one here is actually a trade where I passed a challenge this morning. Like I said, I love GJ, and I like GJ because of how bullish it is at all times. So I caught this big move up, and then now I'm catching it down to try to buy again around here. GJ, I mostly use this price action, strictly price action. The way I swing, which is an ICI, impulse correction, impulse, I will trade GJ that way, which is how I caught this big move here, which was the impulse. This was the impulse down. And then I saw that there was exhaustion on the lower time frames, and there happened to be somewhat of a triple top here, and here. And then I got it in, and this was also a daily level that was holding pretty strongly, so it rejected. And I'm just trying to write it down. This is my TP1 for my first trade, and I stacked and got another order here. Hoping to get it here. If not, then, we'll see what happens. I do like to use moving averages. I'll use a 50, and I like for the 50 to tap, usually on the 1 hour. So you see here, the 50, it crossed under the 50 on the 1 hour. So I entered this second trade here. That was confirmation that it was going to continue to go down a little bit. This one, the moving average hadn't crossed yet, but like I said, it was somewhat of a triple top. You got your 3 rejections here, and then I got in. I have the higher low and the lower high indicator, and then I have the 50 MA and then the 200. The overall trend is bullish. So if I use the 200, I'll use the 200 as like a TP area if I don't have another TP areas. I have this line here, which is a little 1 hour structure, but I'm hoping to ride it all the way down to this area here, which will tap the 200 MA. And then I'm going to continue up for buys, hopefully, if everything works out the way I see it. I do a top down because I do actually hold my trades sometimes for days. Usually with GJ, I'll hold anywhere from 4 hours to 2 to 3 days. So like I said, for this one, I'm anticipating it to go back up. So I just have to see where the exhaustion is going to come in at to see how long I'll hold this one.
Do you use like the same strategy when you day trade and when you swing a higher time frame, or you have another strategy?
No, they are nothing the same. So this one was strictly price action because it's going to be a shorter trade. It probably won't be very long. Like I said, I'm anticipating it to go back up. On my swing trades, it's totally different. I'll use one account to trade a little bit more aggressively, and then I'll use another account to trade less aggressively. So I'll do only 1% on one account, and then I may stack one account with more orders or a little bit larger percentage. But most of the time I'll answer the same trades unless one of the trades I'm just a little antsy and get in and I'm not sure about it. So that would be my more aggressive account. So for my swings, I'll wait till the daily candle is done, and then I'll put a fib at the bottom. Since this is going up, I'll put the fib at the bottom and at the top, and then I'll drop down to the 4 hour. And on the 4 hour, I'm literally waiting for a break of the 61.8 on the 4 hour. Once the 4 hour breaks, I'll make a alarm on TradingView. So that's this green line here. So it's going to alert me to put a buy limit in. So for this one, it didn't come back to get me. So the analysis was correct. So what I wanted it to do was what this arrow was doing, but it just didn't come back to get me. But this is how I swing. I literally go to the 1 hour and look for a strong impulse up or down, and then a shorter or a slower correction, and wait until it's about done, put my fib up, set my alert, hang out until it alerts me, put my limit order in, and then we're riding it.
And how do you decide like where to put your stop loss and where to put your TP?
The swing trade, the stop loss is automatically at the 88.6, no matter what. The only reason I'll move my stop loss on a swing is if the Asian low is below the 88.6. So I do use Asian lows and Asian highs. So you'll see that indicator here, which is just telling me where it could possibly retrace at. If I am day trading or intraday trading, I usually just put my stop loss below or above the previous low or high on a higher time frame and just hope that it doesn't get hit.
And do you take partials?
Sometimes I take partials. If I'm in a trade and it's not moving as strongly as I think, or it gets to a fib level and it's like struggling, like it gets to, I don't know, the 0, and then it bounced back down to the 23, then it gets back and it keeps rejecting that area, then I'll take partials. But I don't like to, only because it messes up my risk to reward. So if I'm calculating a 1 to 3, which is most all my trades are, if I'm taking partials, I'm no longer getting the 1 to 3. So I don't typically do, but there are times that I will. With the day trading, I'm not in the trade as long. So if it gets to my level and I don't expect to hold it for days, I'll just close it completely. So I typically don't take partials at all on a day trade.
And do you put your stop loss to break even after some time?
Most of my trades are 1 to 3. And once I get to the 1%, I'll put it to break even. And on the day trades, once it breaks the 38.2 here, I'll move it to break even.
How many trades do you have open usually?
It just depends, because some weeks there aren't very good setups, because I like to swing trade a little bit more often than I do day trade. I may do 3 setups, but I'm aggressive with my trading. So I'll enter one trade at the 61.8. I'll wait until it gets to the 38.2, and at that point, my first trade is at break even. And then I'll wait for a little bit of a rejection at the 38.2, and then I'll get in for another trade at like a 0.5%. And I'll do the same thing at a 23.6. So at any given time, I could be in one trade on one pair with 3 different entries, or maybe just one trade. It just really depends on the pairs. I don't really trade indices outside of gold, so I don't mess with those. And if it's an exotic, I do not like to stack orders on exotics, because they kind of move a little funky at times.
Can you tell me about your psychology towards trading, and what did you do to improve your psychology?
My psychology was messed up in the beginning because I saw all the gurus with the Lambos, or, hey, pay me $100 and you can be a millionaire tomorrow. So when I first started, my analysis was correct. Where I wanted the trades would go, but my stop loss was too small, because I was trying to say, oh, sniper entry. So I was getting stopped out, and then the trade would go in my direction. And my lot sizes were bananas, like bananas. I was using like, on a 50K challenge, I was using like 5 lot, and There is no way I should be using that on a 50K. So once I realized that my approach to it is, I'm not looking at it like I have 50K. I'm looking at it as what I have in drawdown or what my drawdown allotment is. So if I can only lose 5,000 to blow the account, that means I only have $5,000 to trade with it. So I'm not putting a massive lot because I really only have $5,000. And once I realize that if I can use appropriate risk to reward, it doesn't matter if you lose. It doesn't matter because 1% isn't going to hurt you. You can lose, 10, 11 trades and you will be fine. Because are you really going to lose 10 or 11 trades in a row? Probably not. So once I got that, a loss doesn't off your shoulders. Like, it doesn't matter.
So when you mentioned the losses, how are you dealing with the loser streak?
If I have a loser streak, I'll literally just lower the risk. So instead of losing 1%, like if I'm down, if I can lose, let's say I can lose 8% and I'm down to 4, I'm gonna cut my risk. I'm no longer gonna risk 1%. I'm gonna risk a half or even lower than that until I can get back to a place that I'm comfortable, and then I'll go back to a 1% or maybe a 1.5.
Can you tell us how did you manage? You mentioned before we started the interview that you've been in a drawdown over 9%. So tell me, how did you manage to pass the challenge?
That one was tough. So I was in 2 challenges at once, and I got so low in the first challenge. I was negative 9.98%. I literally had $87 to work with on a 50K account. I had $45,087. But I was also in another challenge, and I passed it. So I was like, well, I'm in phase 2. So you have an abundance of time. I think you have like 60 days to pass. So I'm like, I can compound it and I can do this. So I wasn't really stressed because I had already passed another challenge. So the money was coming. So I dropped down and I was doing 0.01s on the $87. And then once I got to like 45,200, I bumped it up a little bit and I bumped it up. So as I increased in profit, I kept bumping my lot size. Then I just passed.
Wow.
I got out
amazing.
of the move. Yeah.
Amazing.
It was tough. It was
Good
tough,
job, girl.
In my mind, I was like, well, my goal on that account was not to pass it. My goal was just to get back to break even so I could get a free retry. But after I got to break even, I was like, well, shoot, I still got like 20 more days. I definitely can pass this now. So I just went ahead.
Wow, that's incredible. Good job. Did you read like any books? Are you listening to podcasts for like trading psychology?
Yes, Naked Forex, The Disciplined Trader. I like The Alchemist because it teaches you not to give up and follow your destiny. So that kind of helped too, because it's really tough when you're putting all this money into the market. You're buying all these challenges, you're buying all these courses. Shoot, at one point I was buying signals trying to pass. Like, I was desperate. As long as you don't quit, you can never fail. That's literally my mindset on it. Like, you may be in drawdown, you may be losing, but you don't fail until you quit.
Did trading help you to like understand yourself better?
I'm a gambler. Like, at heart, I love to go to casinos. I'm a risk taker. I'm a little hot-headed and impatient and impulsive. I cannot do that and trade it if I want to win. So I can't just see that the market is shooting up, so let me just get in. I didn't analyze anything. I don't know what's going on, but it's going to the moon and I'm going with it. Like, once I got that out in my mind, like, hey, if you just chill, you could win. Like, wait for it to come back to get you. It really helps me. So now I'm not like impulsive. Like I said, I'm a bit hot-headed. I'm not that person anymore. Like, I'm so calm and chill because I have to be with doing this. So if I can control myself and remain patient with the markets, I can do that with people. I can do that at work. I can do that with my kid. Like, it just helps you be a better person in general.
How did you manage to become like more self-aware to keep yourself calm and patient?
I have a digital trading journal. And what I do is I use like Discord and I will screenshot all of my trades. I do it for the week because, like I said, I swing, so I'm in a trade for a long period of time. So I don't have that many. So I'll screenshot my trading view and I'll put a little note as to what I saw and why I entered. And I'll screenshot all my trades for the week. And then I'll go back at the end of the week and look at them. And then that just helps me see like, oh, this one I was too early. This one I was just stupid and I shouldn't have got into this one. But it lets me analyze to see where my pros are, where I was successful at, and what I needed to stop doing in order to win more. So I do that. I still do that now. Every week I'll screenshot all my trades and I'll go over them on Sunday when I do my market breakdown.
And do you journal also your emotions or just the technical part?
No, just technicals. I don't have the emotional struggles anymore. I probably should have journaled my emotions, but most of the time when I was losing, it was anxiety. Like,
Okay,
it was
yeah.
anxiety. But yeah, I don't have that issue.
Yeah, when you mentioned struggles, what did you struggle with the most in the whole journey, and how did you overcome those struggles?
I think it was being overconfident and impulsive. So I would buy a course. I bought a bunch of them. I buy a course. I would watch, I don't know, 2 or 3 sections, and I'm like, I know it. I can do this. I'll go fund an account, buy a funded account, and blow it in 2 days. Like, or I'll buy a course, study it for a little while. Might even get a demo account. Man, I done took this demo account from 5,000 to 10,000. I got it. And then I'll go to a real account and blow it. So the overconfidence, I wasn't even halfway through a course and I thought I knew everything, which caused me to fail. So I think those two was my biggest struggle. So I'm overconfident, I'm impulsive, and with the impulsiveness, I was literally dropping way too big of lot sizes and blowing it quicker than I should have.
Did you backtest the data before you started implementing the strategies?
Before, I definitely just didn't backtest anything. This is what somebody said, so this is what I'm going to do. But now that I have it, I did go back and I backtested on 500 trades. Like I literally would pick, a day and I would trade or backtest trade on GJ, and I made sure I did 500, and I had to have at least a 60% win rate before I was like, okay, yeah, I'm good. And I did the same thing on the ICI swing method to figure out, like, does it work on all pairs? Like, should I be using it at different times? So yes, I do backtest on both, and I still backtest now just to see if I can like tweak it a little bit. Like, can I do the ICI and it works for me on a lower time frame, or should I just stick to what I have planned for me?
How did you find TFT, and how is your experience with us?
I love y'all. Like, y'all are amazing. I started out with FTMO. I didn't really like them. I didn't like the prices. I didn't really like the customer service either. I didn't think that they responded as quickly as I felt like they should. I had looked into my Forex funds. They were the second prop firm I was going to go with, but I decided not to because I just really liked you guys. Whenever I asked questions on a little chat bot, I got an answer like super quickly. I remember asking one time, like, hey, can I get a coupon? And they gave me a coupon, and I just haven't had any issues. I request my payout. My payout comes super quickly. I get responses from customer service so fast. I just haven't had any issues. So whenever I tell my trading friends, they're like, oh, I'm with such and such. No, I leave them. Come on over here. Like, I really appreciate you guys. Everything's worked out great for me. I haven't had not one issue at all. And I have 3 funded accounts with y'all, and I'm still in 2 challenges right now. So
amazing. I'm so happy to hear that you've only had a great experience. What advice would you give to new traders that are just getting started?
Don't jump around with strategies. Most of the time, it's not the strategy, it's you. So all these strategies that you see people using, they work, but they just might not work with you and your personality. Try to find out what works with your personality and figure out what trading style works for you. So like I said before, I tried to do scalping, and once I realized that it wasn't for me, trading just got a little bit easier.
As you mentioned, you've been impulsive. So being impulsive and being a scalper, definitely dangerous combination.
Exactly. Yeah.
What are your plans and goals in the future, both with trading and generally in life? Like, where do you see yourself in like 5-10 years?
Oh, 5 to 10 years? That's a long time.
Well, maybe next year.
Well, I plan to max out with you guys. Try to teach a few people in my community to trade, because a lot of people hear about trading and they see these girls, they have Lamborghinis and mansions and helicopters and all this crazy stuff. And I want them to see that this is not a scam. Like, if you literally get out here and work really hard and study, you can make money and you can make it fast. So I really want to teach people in my community that they can, make money on a computer. You don't have to work a 9 to 5. You don't have to go anywhere. invest a little bit of money in other businesses and stuff like that.
Do you currently work at the Nuts Place or you're a full-time trader?
I have a real job for now. I will not quit my primary job until I have in a savings account what I make 1 year's salary. Once I meet that goal, then I'll be comfortable quitting. But right now, I'm not going to do that as of yet. And plus, 2 sources of income is always better than 1.
And it removes the pressure. Thinking that you have to make money is going to just trick you to force trades and those type of things. Any last words that you would like to share with us?
If I can do it, anybody can do it. So I don't care if you're negative 9.98%. Y'all can do it. Don't give up. You only fail if you quit. Do not quit. Y'all can do this.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your experience with us. I'm really amazed from the mindset you have and how quickly you progressed in the whole journey. I wish you best of luck with all your plans and goals, and I hope to have a follow-up interview when you hit the maximal location.
Awesome. Thank you, Anna.
To all of you watching, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and show us some love in the comments down below. Trade safe, and until next time.